Hello, my name is Michael Cox. We are Group 4. Today we are going to present to you the Clifton Strengths Finder. In our group we have Daniels, Dylan, Crystal, myself, and Stevens. Thank you for your time and attention.
There's a number of ways to find out what you're good at. One of the easiest and simplest is using the Clifton Strengths Finder. It's an assessment that will help identify your top 5 themes of talent, and for a little extra digging you can get into all 34 of your themes. That's particularly important when you're looking to get a job, and how do you communicate that? You need to be able to let your employer know what are you good at and where can they expect you to excel.
Hello everyone, my name is Daniels Lockmans, and today I'm going to be talking to you about what is Strength Finders. Clifton Strength Finders is a program that helps to identify your top 5 strengths. Also, it helps you to incorporate these skills into your daily life and workplace. For example, if there's a group and they have all taken this assessment, they're going to know what their strengths are, and this will help them to succeed. By knowing each and everyone's strength, they can bring something special to the table, which will help them to accomplish the task or project more quickly. Next, this will also help you personally because you get a better understanding of what strengths you excel at. One of your strengths might be your weakest strength. By working on your weakest strength, you can make it stronger, which will make you a more well-rounded person. In order to find your top 5 strengths, you're going to have to take a short assessment which consists of a variety of questions. When you finish the assessment, it will display your top 5 strengths. Also, it will give you more descriptive reason to why they are your top 5 strengths. Stephens is going to talk to you more about this part. As you can see on the screen, these are my top 5 strengths: achiever, responsibility, competition, positivity, and input. All of these strengths fall under at least one category. Those 4 categories are executing, influencing, relationship building, and strategic thinking. But since 2 of my strengths, which are achiever and responsibility, fall under executing, that means that I like to get things done. If I had to choose just a single top strength, it would have to be achiever. The reason being for this is that I like to get things done in a day. I have to accomplish at least one goal that I've set each and every day. If I don't, then I feel like my whole day has been wasted. To wrap things up, Clifton Strength Finders is a program that helps to find your top 5 strengths and use them in multiple different scenarios to help you succeed and better yourself in life. Thank you all for listening.
The Clifton Strength Finder has about a 50-year history, where the thought of positive psychology was developed jointly by Dr. Donald Clifton of the University of Nebraska and Dr. Marty Seligman, head of the University of Pennsylvania Psychology Department. It is based on the concept of what is right with us, not what is wrong with us. It actually had its first introduction in the early 2000s with the book Now Discover Your Strengths. The assessment now has been out for close to 20 years. It's in its 2nd iteration and has been used by almost 30 million people at this point.
Hi everyone, I'm Crystal. Today we'll talk about the benefits of Strength Finder and what makes it unique. People can easily tell what they are not good at, but just few of them know what they are really good at. So, Strength Finder, instead of identifying and fixing your weaknesses, it focuses on what makes you stand out and what will work for you. So, you will go further in your life when elevating your strength instead of trying to balance out your weakness. Strength Finder provides suggestions for using your strength in your life and at work. These suggestions are very useful and it helps you to operate at your full potential. Strength Finder provides descriptive vocabulary that is very useful for you when writing your resume. It also has over 26 different languages such as Chinese, Spanish, Korean, and Japanese, so the user can have better understanding when taking the test. So now move on to how the result affect my own life. In my personal life, it helps you have a better understanding of who you are. For example, before I take the test, I think responsibility would be my top priority strength, but the result is consistency. Consistency actually is I want to treat people at the same time, at the same equally, and have the routine and everything go smoothly between people. Responsibility is my third strength. It's how like what I say I will do and I will do it honestly and loyally. Second, strength fighter help you to raise your self-awareness and increase your motivation and confidence. It helps you have a better understanding of who you are and after your strength and know what are the strengths, you can have a better connection with others. So now I will talk about how the result affect you in your workplace. This will help you to have more engaged into your work and have greater productivity and satisfaction at work. It has positively impact your relationship in your team at work when you know what are you good at and what your teammate good at. So you guys can cooperate in an effective way. So now I will talk about how the result affect you in your workplace. This will help you to have more engaged into your work and have greater productivity and satisfaction at work. It has positively impact your relationship in your team at work when you know what are you good at and what your teammate good at. You know how can you use it, apply it when you work with others. It helps you understand who you are and what your teammate really good at so you can divide your work appropriately. Finally, overall strength is the strength that quite naturally to you. Nobody can as good as you are. Strength fighter give you a unique combination of strength that you possess. So you can use it in your own life and nobody else can have it like you. Then the next session will be how to use the program and Stephen will help you to have a better understanding of how to use it.
An advantage of the Clifton Strength Finder is that it focuses just on your talent. It's not a personality assessment, it's not an IQ assessment. So regardless of your background, gender, race, socioeconomic conditions, it picks out what is right with all of us.
Hello, my name is Dylan Wright, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about how Clifton's Strengths Finder was developed. Starting with a little bit of a quote here. What will happen when we think about what is right with people rather than fixating on what is wrong with them? This is a quote by Donald O. Clifton. So the Strengths Finder was kind of developed by the Gallup Corporation. It was launched in 2001. It was based in part on the research done by Donald O. Clifton, who I mentioned the quote from. He was the late CEO of Gallup Corporation and a psychologist with over 40 years of experience in his field. He was called the father of strengths-based psychology by the American Psychology Association when they presented him with their Lifetime Achievement Award in 2002. At the same time, they launched Clifton's Strengths Finder. He co-wrote a book called Now Discover Your Strengths. This was co-written with Marcus Buckingham, but the book really helped to highlight the benefits of Clifton's Strengths Finder, and this really helped to popularize it as a program. Clifton and their own 40 years of experience on researching and through their polls of what works in a marketplace and what works for management, things that help build teams, things that help make workplaces stronger. Then that same team then helped develop language around these 34 common talents, which we'll be talking about later in this presentation. And when they identified these 34 talents, they came up with a series of questions that would help identify these talents within individuals. So, and in closing, I would just like to continue with the fact that this program, the whole thing that they've kept in mind throughout all the years they've been doing it, and as they have refined it a little bit over the years, is that the core idea has to do with building a person's talents will yield more results than focusing only on people's weaknesses. And here I'm just going to give you just a little bit of an idea of what it looks like. And again, we're going to go into this more in depth further in the presentation. But just to give you an idea of what my 5 strengths are. They are context, input, ideation, adaptability, and intellection. You can see they all fit into various subcategories, which will be talked about to come.
How can I find out what am I good at? And how do I use that in an interview?
The assessment itself is remarkably easy. For here at PCC, you will be directed to a website where all you'll be asked to do is provide your PCC email, create a username and a password. It'll take you directly to the assessment. The assessment is 240 questions, and it is timed at 20 seconds so we get your top of mind response. It's not an IQ test. There's nothing to calculate. You just simply give your response. Generally takes about 30 minutes to complete from start to finish.
Alright. Hello, my name is Stevens, and I will be talking about Clifton Strength Finders and how to use them. To use Clifton Strength Finders, first we will need to get this hyperlink that will bring you to Strength Finder assessment page, but for you it may be different because some of you may buy the textbook. So for the textbook people, you have to use the code that will bring you to the same page. Now, once you get to the Strength Finders assessment page, you will begin to watch a short 80-second clips about what is Strength Finders and how to use them.
There are some things that just come naturally to you, things that are second nature. These are your personal strengths, and they're a big part of what make you unique. They're what draw you towards certain interests, people, and situations. And they are behind your successes at work and in your personal life. Understanding your greatest talents is the first step toward a more productive, empowered life. When you get your Clifton StrengthsFinder results, you'll notice that some talents are dominant, while others play a supporting role. Your dominant talents are key to your personal development. By fostering them, you will pave the way for greater fulfillment and achievement. And by considering how you're already using these talents, you can discover how you can cultivate them to be your best every single day. Everyone is different, and we all have a special set of talents and strengths to bring to our work, communities, and relationships. Use your full 34 comprehensive report as a roadmap to discover, develop, and realize your true potential. Unlock your potential.
And then you begin to answer some personal questions. Once you finish answering questions and watch a short video, you will get confirmation email in your email that will link you to this page, and you can begin creating your new account by using your PCC username and password just for easy access and so you don't forget them. Now, once you create the account, you begin seeing this dashboard. We will have home, action, group, and resource. Click on the home tab and click on this green Let's Go button to begin your strength findings. Once you begin the Let's Go button and answer question, there will be 177 questions, and each question have 20-second time limits. Once you finish answering 177 questions, those questions will be evaluated and show as your top 5 strengths. My top 5 strengths are individualization, context, connectedness, input, and restorative. And I think my number 1 is individualization, because I recognize people's individual talents and I can put them in a group setting and make them work together. Next up, on the last page, we can see all these PDF files. First, the signature theme, which will describe your top 5 strengths. Then you will see the certificate, which it will state what are your top 5 strengths. And you can see the strength inside, and then strength inside plus action planning. Those are how the strength related to me, and how can I use those strengths to communicate with other people. Oh, thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed my part.
Who would benefit from the Clifton Strengths Finder, and how can we make it available to all students?
The beauty of the Clifton Strength Finder is that it really benefits everybody. The assessment has been used from CEOs of Fortune 500 companies all the way down to students at the high school level. So everyone can benefit from it. My personal goal would be that every student at PCC gets an opportunity to do this. So connect with a student strength advisor or one of your own advisors or teachers that have been qualified to administer the assessment.
Hi, my name is Michael Cox. I am a Student Strengths Finder advocate here at PCC. Today we have learned about what Strengths Finder is, how easy it is to navigate the system, and how it tells us our top 5 strengths and gives us the ability to communicate these strengths to a future employer. But why do we need this? Well, in today's job market, just having a degree is not enough. You need to stand out from the crowd. And that's what Strengths Finder does. When you go into an interview knowing what you're good at and with the ability to communicate this to your employer, it better tells the employer who you are and where you fit into their group. It doesn't matter what your major is, what your career field is. The competition is out there and you need to stand out. With Strength Finders available to everyone at PCC, we're able to do just that. Make you stand out. If you would like further information on how to get started with the Strength Finders or how to be involved with the Strength Finders, you can come and see me after the presentation or email me at michael.cox18@pcc.edu. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the presentation.